Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. We continue reading from Imam Al-Ghazali's Jawahir al-Quran with the Juz of the Quran in Spares. Still reading from Surah Al-Qasas towards the end, literally. We began reading and commenting on this story of Qarun. This is the very last story of the surah. In the previous session, we mentioned that Qarun, Korah, was from the amongst the people of Moses, an Israelite from the children of Israel, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him wealth that is really beyond our imagination, because it says that the keys to the treasures, to the safes, where it is kept, the keys only would bear in a group of strong men. And that his people advised him. They advised him because they saw that he already manifested prideful behavior, not to, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like the prideful. And he was advised to seek the reward, to seek the hereafter, meaning the reward of the hereafter, meaning to modify his behavior by means of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted him, the wealth, without forgetting his share of this world, his share, whether it is food, anything that is lawful in moderation, clothing, housing, marriage, that's all within the basically one's share of this world. Never, it never includes that which is prohibited. And the list of the prohibited is increases. One might say, how come? Isn't everything? But the principles are already there. So, for example, if you talk about the 5 aims of the Sharia, one of them is to protect progeny, offspring, so that we would know. It means that adultery is prohibited. You don't want children out of the wedlock. That's one thing. You don't want people to commit adultery and not knowing, who were the parents. Something modern, contemporarily. These sperm banks and the banks that have female eggs, ovum, they donate. What do you mean they donate? They donate means that the biological father is the donor, without marriage, without them. That's something new. But going back to Qarun, to Korah, he was told, don't forget your share, but have your eyes on the hereafter and do good. The way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been good to you, meaning be good to people, and do not cause corruption. We spoke about this in the previous session. This would include corruption in politics and economics and the social order, the world of every human activity, including art. Yes. And we spoke about verse 78 where his ego, Qarun's ego, Korah's ego, shines. Of course, this is negatively speaking, for he said that he has been granted this money because of his own knowledge. It's a sense of entitlement. I deserve this. This is mine. I worked hard. قال إنما أوتيت على علم عندي. This is a serious problem, whether it's about money, about knowledge, success. In any realm, you discover something, rest assured that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants those whom He loves and those whom He does not love. He provides for the believer and the non-believer. People should basically pay attention as to what they do with the money. And he's reminded that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already destroyed some of the generations before him who were far superior to him in power and greater in wealth gathering, accumulating wealth. There will be no need for the wicked to be asked about their sins. There is a record. Now he showed up, he came out before his people in all his glamour, fi zinate, his entourage, clothing, servants. Those who desired the life of this world wished, if only we could have something like that, or something like what Qarun has been granted. فخرج على قومه في زينته قال الذين يريدون الحياة الدنيا يا ليت لنا مثل ما أوتي قارون إنه لذو حظ عظيم. They wished basically to have something what Qarun has been granted. He is truly a man of great fortune. That's the popular view. Those who have knowledge, those who were gifted with knowledge. We talk about religious, spiritual knowledge, and I would say they are the arbab al-qulub, the people of the hearts, those who they know the reality of things. وقال الذين أوتوا العلم ويلكم ثواب الله خير لمن آمن وعمل صالحا ولا يلقاها إلا الصابرون. But those gifted with knowledge said, shame on you, woe to you, ويلكم, be careful. Allah's reward is far better for those who believe and do good. But none will attain this except the steadfast. The steadfast, those who have patience, perseverance, resilience. Sabirun, it has been also interpreted as having patience vis-a-vis this world. Okay. What happened to Qarun when people noticed this? فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ الْأَرْضَ. Then we caused the earth to swallow him, along with his home. Sometimes we watch on in the news how sinkholes swallow whole homes. They just simply disappear, literally. People, the home. فما كان له من فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان منتصرين. So they swallowed him up, swallowed his home. There was no one to help him against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nor could he even help himself. Of course not. Those who wished To be in his shoes, those who had craved his position the previous day began to say, "Ah, it is certainly Allah who gives abundant or limited provisions to whoever He wills of His servants. Had it not been for the grace of Allah, He could have surely caused the earth to swallow us up. Or indeed, disbelievers will never succeed." وأصبح الذين تمنوا مكانه بالأمس يقولون ويكأن الله يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء من عباده ويقدر لولا أن من الله علينا لخسف بنا وكأنه لا يفلح الكافرون. When they compared their wealth to his, they wished to have the same. When they saw what happened to him and how the earth swallowed him and swallowed his house, they preferred safety. They knew that what they have wished for was not okay. Always when you talk about that which you like, that which you in terms of material wealth or whatever, look at those who below you, so that you would appreciate what you have. If you compare yourself in terms of religiosity, spirituality, action, good deeds, compare yourself to those who are above you, that you know from your own context, or you know the news about. Compare yourself to those who are above you. This way, you would feel that, yeah, you would know your shortcomings. You know that you can improve, you can increase. Uh, Increase your effort. Someone told me that he was leaving the hospital today, Al-Maqas Hospital on Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, and he was thinking about his condition, physical condition, and when he noticed someone who was physically devastated. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam. God knows best what this person went through. As if his face was subjected to trauma, severe trauma. Could be a mass car accident. It could be there wasn't much details, but the moment he saw the severe condition of this person, he realized that that he was in far better position. People don't realize there's the one eighth of human population. That's 1 billion, because we are about 8 billion now. That's about 1 billion. There are special needs, physical, mental, special needs. 1/8. So definitely people should pay attention. They should appreciate the ni'am, the bounty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has bestowed on them. The hereafter, the eternal home, the eternal abode in the hereafter, we reserve only for those who seek neither tyranny nor corruption. On the earth, the ultimate outcome belongs only to the righteous. تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا والعاقبة للمتقين. The favorable end, because the hereafter is for both the those who are good and those who are evil, but the favorable end is for those who do not oppress others, do not cause corruption on earth, which is really what is expected of Adam alayhi salam and his offspring of humanity. When the angels exclaimed about why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would create someone who would cause corruption on earth, when He informed them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed them about um, His will to create a vicegerent on earth, cause corruption and shed blood. And that's the history. In fact, this is remarkable how what is taught to in school is pretty much the history of corruption in that sense and shedding blood. من جاء بالحسنة فله خير منها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى الذين عملوا السيئات إلا ما كانوا يعملون. Whoever comes with a good deed will be rewarded with what is better. And whoever comes with an evil deed, then the evildoers will only be rewarded for what they used to do. Subhanallah. You do something good, something better, the reward will be something better. 10 folds, 700 folds. Like مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة ما تحب والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. 7 folds, 7 folds, 700 folds, 10 folds, 25 folds. Talking about the reward for congregational prayer. Unknown massive reward, like for example for fasting. But for the evil deed, it's only it's not going to be multiplied, the punishment. They only rewarded for what they used to do. And now the narrative shifts to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. إن الذي فرض عليك القرآن لرادك إلى معاد قل ربي أعلم من جاء بالهدى ومن هو في ضلال مبين. Most certainly the one who has ordained the Quran for you will ultimately bring you back home, will bring you back to an appointed destiny, ma'ad, which would include return. Say, my Lord knows best who has come with true guidance and who is clearly astray. لَرَادُّكَ إِلَى مَعَاد. There are several interesting interpretations. لَرَادُّكَ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ ثُمَّ سَائِلُكَ عَنِ الْقُرْآنِ. That's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you will be brought to paradise, and you will be asked about the Quran. Because that's the it is ordained to fulfill its commandments, the do's and don'ts. That's one interpretation. لَرَادُّكَ إِلَى مَعَاد, the day of judgment. We will see that they are interconnected, because to go to paradise there has to be a day of judgment. a day of judgment, لَرَدُّكَ لَمَعَادْ إِلَى الْمَوْتِ, to death. That's also still death, day of judgment, paradise. Also to Mecca, because it is said that this verse was revealed when the Prophet ﷺ was on his way to Medina. لَرَدُّكَ لَمَعَادْ has been narrated by that Ibn Abbas said لَرَدُّكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ, as interpretation he said قَالَ إِلَى مَكَّةِ. Yes. And there is an interesting interpretation. لَرَدُّكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ, it has been interpreted as to Jerusalem, to Bayt al-Maqdis. One might say, how come to Bayt al-Maqdis? Because the Jerusalem is the land of gathering and resurrection on the day of judgment. So all these interpretations, they are not really, one can see the common thread between them, that ultimately there is sense of return. This is not the end of the story. This life is not the end of the story. Those who do not have that sense, those who do not believe, those who do not modify their behavior, they will definitely go through stress, anxiety, fear of the unknown. They don't believe, they don't. Yes. For this life is it's real, but it's temporary. No matter how long, whether you have the wealth of Korah, you have an appointed time. Even those who are very wealthy, they realize that it's a matter of time before they die. Warren Buffett donated, and he continues to donate his billions. Bill Gates is doing the same. Those who are realistic, if you will, they know, even without having the same faith, they know that there's an end, and they know that this wealth, even if they leave to, if they have children, they don't need all this money. Work hard, earn very well, and return to the society. Do good. Nevertheless, try to do good as much as possible. You have been granted knowledge, do good with that. You have been granted wealth, do good with that. Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed on you, use that for your own good, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You never expected this book to be revealed to you, meaning the Prophet ﷺ, but it came only as a mercy from your Lord. So never side with the disbelievers in their disbelief. وما كنت ترجو أن يلقى إليك الكتاب إلا رحمة من ربك فلا تكونن ظهير الكافرين. Never side with the disbelievers in their disbelief. When you talk about in their disbelief, in their when you talk about it, it's a long story how they try to portray contemporary Western state of affairs as the pinnacle of civilization. This is the ultimate, the last, the final stage, the best, the greatest civilization, if you will, and that's not true. We know it's not true. Military capabilities and strength do not make you great. To oppress others, to attack others at will, that does not make you great. People are tired of all these wars. People are really tired. So to say that this is a Western civilization, and anyone who would like to defend the civilized world, you are not defending the civilized world. You are simply being part of history of imperialism. ولا صدنك عن آيات الله بعد إذ أنزلت إليك وادع إلى ربك ولا تكونن المشركين. Do not let them turn you away from the revelations of Allah after they have been sent down to you. Rather, invite all to the way of your Lord and never be one of the polytheists. It's either faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing is like unto him, and the history of revelation which culminates in the revelation of the Qur'an, the last message, and believing in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the seal of the prophets, the very last prophet. Do not invoke any other God with Allah. ولا تدع مع الله إلها آخر. لا إله إلا هو. There is no God except him. There is no God worthy of worship except him. Everything is bound to perish except he himself. كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه له الحكم وإليه ترجعون. All authority belongs to him, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to him you will be returned. كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه. If you know كل شيء والشمس تجري لمستقر لها, if the sun will reach its end, it means not only our solar system, not only our galaxy, the Milky Way, the universe will, as we know it, will come to an end one day. Everything belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is, if you know Arabic, there is a part of, this is like a stanza, like this is Labid, the poet, the Arab poet, saying, ألا كل شيء ما خلا الله بعض. Indeed, verily, everything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, batil, one might use the word unreal, fake. Think about all the things that could fit into this notion of batil. Inshallah, in the next session we'll begin with Surah Al-Ankabut, the spider. Until then, subhanakallah wa hamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.